Hey guys, it's Johnny Sam with another video. Just wanted to talk about Max Holloway pulling out of his fight with Brian Ortega at UFC 226. But also, I kind of want to talk about the deeper importance of CTE and hard sparring and everything like that in the sport, right? These days, obviously, a lot of people that if they don't really train hard, they may not know exactly what goes into preparation for a fight. I've trained fighters before, I've fought before, and some of my insights into like getting prepped for an actual fight. A lot of places, it's going to be a difference of philosophy, whether or not they think you should be hard sparring or, if you should just spar light and just prepare on pads, things like that. My opinion on the matter is hard sparring. I think hard sparring is good, especially in the beginning. I feel like if you're in the very, very beginning of your career, maybe like the first couple of years of your career, and you're trying to build up fight stamina, you're trying to build up that awareness, you're trying to like get used to another human being attacking you, especially. You need to do a little bit of hard sparring to get your mind geared towards that. But I do think that it's something that really should be utilized in the beginning of someone's career. And then as they start to control their nerves, they have a couple of fights under their belt, maybe do a couple of amateur matches. You do enough of that, I feel like hard sparring should now take a bit of a backseat to drilling, pad work. Not to say there shouldn't be any kind of hard sparring during a training camp, especially for like a big UFC title fight. Obviously you're going to want to be as best prepared as you can. But, part of me believes that you can just red line, you can red line the human body. Like, I don't think the human body is made to just keep going and going and going and taking punishment, taking damage, and particularly to the head. So that kind of brings me to Max Holloway here. He, a lot of videos I've been able to find online, doesn't look like he does crazy hard sparring, but obviously we all know that, a lot of these guys are doing hard sparring to mentally prepare themselves, not just physically, mentally prepare themselves for the fight. So, me just like seeing some of the videos of him online, it doesn't seem like he spars too hard. It seems like he trains intelligently. He drills, things like that. These are kind of what you expect from a championship level fighter. So my big gripe is why. I mean, concussion symptoms could last for a while. I'm not going to say it just fades away overnight, but obviously he was still sparring pretty hard. Weeks up to fight. Like in my mind, or when I'm training, when I've trained my guys for fights, I feel like the hard sparring is something that you want to kind of finish up weeks before the fight. And that's just maybe my own personal philosophy, but it could avoid these kind of things like concussions and everything. He was at the UFC 226 open workouts and he just looked lethargic. Everyone knew something was off. His speech was slurred. So obviously we knew we were dealing with something serious. But I mean, I feel like finishing your sparring weeks out doesn't necessarily rid the problem of concussions from hard sparring or concussions in training camp, but does probably give your brain a little bit of time to relax, and rejuvenate itself. This is probably my own philosophy. I don't know what anyone else believes on this, but that's what I think. And I think creating situational options are also good. You do want to flow, and you want to make sure that you're not, married to one kind of game plan because anything can happen in a fight. But I feel like training situations and flowing into other positions, I think those are more important weeks ahead of the fight than just hard sparring. And I think this hard sparring mentality, it leads to a lot of brain damage. in training camp. Like, I feel like we've looked at statistics, and a lot of times people get brain damage just from training because whatever it is, people get a chip on their shoulder. They want to go all out. Maybe their training partner hit them a little bit too hard, so then they turn it up. So it's a touchy kind of thing, but you do need to have smart training partners. You do need to have people that are going to be able to spar intelligently with you. And I think the fact that, he had this concussion just like days out from the fight, and we have to now look at our sparring. Like, is sparring going a little too hard? Can we do something to mitigate that during training? Is hard sparring necessary, especially hard shots to the head? Like, I feel like you go hard to the body, you go hard to the legs, and you touch up top. Like, in my opinion, it's much harder to see a touching or tapping kind of shot than it is to see a hard overhand right. Like, you can see an overhand right coming your way, like, no problem. If someone's fast enough, obviously they could clock you with one, of course. But, for the most part, it's those light, relaxed, touching shots. Those are the ones that you're not really going to see coming. And those are the ones that are going to land. And, training like that in general, I feel like it takes away this whole brawling mentality that a lot of people will have. Obviously, if you want to fight for a living, you have to have a certain dog in you. But regardless of that, it does take its toll, and you don't want to just be brawling in your training sessions over and over. So now we have to wonder about CTE where Max Holloway is concerned. Because in my opinion, anytime I've heard him in interviews, it gave me the same feeling that when I saw Justin Gaethje talk. It's like this slurred speech, and they can't really formulate the words clearly sometimes. Sometimes people get jumbled over the words. It's not, something that's uncommon. But especially when we're dealing with fighting, obviously we're going to be a little bit more critical of those kind of things. And, it worries me when I hear that stuff. It's like, man, like, are they pushing themselves too hard in their training? Are they pushing themselves? I mean, in the fight, a fight is a fight. You can't control what happens. If you get hurt in a fight, hey, what are you going to do? But I feel like training should be a controlled situation that hopefully prevents serious injury. And though it's going to happen, I've torn my hamstring in training before, it's just, things are going to happen. You can't avoid it. But we do have to wonder, how hard was he sparring? Was he taking unnecessary damage leading up to this? And is that damage going to carry over after his career? Him and guys like Gaethje, I don't think either of them are over 30. Like, they haven't even reached the 30th birthday, and we're already seeing certain signs, like real clear signs that these guys could be compromised. Like Justin Gaethje's 29. It's like, he's 29. I believe Holloway's 26, if I'm not mistaken. 26, 27. Yeah, 26. So these guys, they're so young. They're so young, and they're already experiencing this kind of stuff. We have to really think about a better solution, just in terms of training. In a fight, don't get me wrong. If you get knocked down in a fight, we can't control this. This is what they sign up for. But training leading up to a fight, guys shouldn't have concussions, man. Like, that's my opinion. If you're training smart and you have some good guys around you, concussions should just not be a part of a situation you're worried about when you're cutting weight to make a fight. You're dehydrating your brain. You're dehydrating your body and your brain, taking all the water from it. It's like, if you have to deal with concussion on top of all of that, it's like, you could easily go into a fight and get killed. It's really super dangerous. So, yeah, this is a brutal sport and it's an unforgiving sport, but I do think we can do things a little bit smarter, and hopefully Max Holloway makes a full recovery, and we can see him perform and fight Brian Ortega at a later date. But hopefully, I just hope he trains smarter. I don't know if he's necessarily training irresponsibly, but whatever led to this concussion, I hope he can avoid it in the future. not just for a fight's sake, but for his own well-being. But tell me what you guys think. You can give me a like, subscribe, just share your opinions. We can discuss it in the comments, and yeah, we can go from there. So, see you in the next video, guys.